Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our NXT show for the week. Let's jump right into it. First match of the night, we see the in-ring debut of Finn Balor, formerly Prince Devitt, teaming up with Hideo Itami versus Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. Excellent match, way to showcase the talents of Finn or Devitt or however you want to pronounce them at this point, and Itami, with two excellent wrestlers in Kidd and Gabriel, two of the WWE's most underrated and underused talents. I thought this was a great match, great way to start the show. You showed two guys that are future stars that have immense potential, two other guys that should be megastars that just seem to get lost in the shuffle. Thought it was a good match, thought it was a great way to open the show. Finn Balor and Itami pick up the win, which looked strong, looked good, it looked like they deserved to be there. Next up we have Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. This is pretty much another squash for Sasha, building her into the World Championship picture or Women's Championship picture, which I think she's going to be the next Women's Champion based off what they've been doing with her. I think it's good. She's improving a lot. I was a little skeptical of her at first, but she seems to be growing on me. Next up, we have the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara versus Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake. I'm intrigued by the team of Blake and Murphy. They haven't let them win yet. They definitely have a certain charisma and a certain style that I think can go well going forward. The Lucha Dragons, I think it's revitalizing the Sin Cara character, putting him with a guy like Kalisto, who's absolutely amazing. Fans are starting to get behind him again after they had turned on the character in both its incarnations with the injuries and botches and everything of that nature. But Blake and Murphy, I think, are a team to watch going forward. I enjoy them. There's something about them. They haven't quite been pushed to do anything as of yet, but there's something about their characters that is very enjoyable. Can't quite put my finger on it. And finally, we get the main event of the night, Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville. Neville picks up the win after Sami Zayn backs off when it seems to Neville being hurt. Neville gets him with a roll-up, thus furthering the Does Sami Zayn choke in big matches storyline, also furthering the Neville does whatever it takes to win storyline. Thought it was good. I think they're kind of missing the ball here. I think both these guys actually should be in the roster. They shouldn't even be wrestling for the NXT Championship, but Sami Zayn's a guy that probably should have been a champion 6 months ago. The more they're keeping the weight on him, I think the less impact it's going to be if he does actually win it, which seems to be what they're building to. But, I think they're two excellent talents. I thought it was a great match. I did enjoy the ending personally. Just a little bit of downtractors in the long-term booking of it. Now, coming off of that, we're going to go into our top 5 prospects from NXT. Now, to preface that, we will say that, guys that have been on the WWE roster in a semi-permanent basis, like Kidd and Gabriel, unfortunately they're not included in this. This is strictly for guys that have mostly wrestled in NXT and haven't made it for a stay at the main roster as of yet. Number 5, Baron Corbin. He has an it factor. He has a Ryback / Goldberg / any other monster that's been created. Kind of feel an appeal to him. I think he's a little bit better than probably Goldberg. Don't know if he's as good as Ryback quite yet. Ryback's underrated in the ring. I think he's actually a good wrestler. I think Corbin has the potential to be up there with these guys. He definitely has a presence and he definitely has something there that needs to be explored and exploited. Speaking of exploited, number 4, Charlotte, and the fact that she's Ric Flair's daughter has been exploited to death. but it doesn't help hurt from the fact that she's probably the best female developmental talent in NXT that's come along since Paige. Probably the second best they've ever had since, other than Paige. Again, much like I said a little bit ago, it's only a matter of time before she's on the main roster and carving up a historic career to go right alongside her father's. Number 3, I get to cheat on this one. They made him a tag team, so I'm going to make him a tag team. Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. Two guys with an international reputation that are already megastars all around the world, coming to the biggest promotion in the world to see if they can make it here. I can't for any reason think why they wouldn't. They're both extremely talented in-ring performers. Both have the it factor. Both have the talent to go and be major players in the WWE. Number 2, the NXT champion Adrian Neville. What can I say about the guy? He's probably the best high flyer in the world, if not number 1. He's in the short list of on the top 2 or 3. He's a guy, I like that his persona is coming out more with more of the heelish tactics he's been using as of lately. It's adding a depth to him that I didn't see earlier on in his career or earlier on in his NXT run. The sky's the limit for him, and surprisingly, he's a guy that flies through the sky. Number 1, Sami Zayn. As of right now, I think he's still the best talent NXT has. I think he's the best prospect out of everybody on the NXT roster and that has debuted on their shows. I think Zayn is the one I can most see headlining a WrestleMania. No offense to guys like Corbin, Itami, Baylor, Neville, Sami Zayn, I think, is on that different level of character. He's on there where like a Seth Rollins was, where a Daniel Bryan was, where a guy like Dean Ambrose is, or Cesaro, where you see the talent that you could see into the future and see them projecting out to be a main event WrestleMania player. Could I see WrestleMania 32 having Sami Zayn versus Dean Ambrose as the main event? Sami Zayn versus Bray Wyatt? Easily. I could see Sami Zayn being the biggest face of the company. I could see him being the guy that takes the ball from John Cena and runs with it and becomes the next big face in the WWE. He's that good to me. He has everything you would need to be a major star, in my opinion. But basically, that's all I have to say about that. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Heel Heat.